Hey, how's it going, guys? For my video, I wanted to talk about a book I recently read called The Anatomy of Peace that relates to some of the content of this class. So, the book was written by the Arbinger Institute. It's written in story form. Basically, there's this place called Camp Moriah where these two guys run the camp, and a lot of the counselors try to help youth to change their lives. And the parents of the youth bring them to these camps, and the two main guys, uh, basically teach the parents how to create an environment that is going to be better for their children, because change in their children won't be successful without a change in their environment as well. So some of the main points of the book are that conflict is everywhere, and that most of us don't know what to do about it. Conflict resolution skills, some of the most important skills that we can have in our workplace, family, and broader community, because we have conflict all the time. So when conflict arises, there is often an instinct to criticize, correct, or punish, especially with like a relationship from parents to child. And doing this and with more intensity when it doesn't work doesn't really help. I'm sure some of you have some stories about that. I know I do. So the book talks about this pyramid called the influence pyramid. And so basically, if this pyramid is like this, like the bottom half, like the bigger chunk, we want to spend more of our time helping things to go right. And at the very top, like the top corner of it, we want to spend that time fixing things when they go wrong. So helping things go right versus fixing things go wrong, like we can build a more stable environment to help things go right, and that's going to solve a lot of our problems. We can do this by listening and understanding, building a good relationship with others. These are far more effective strategies if we're trying to help someone change. Others are more willing to accept our advice when it isn't given ignorantly. So how we see others is a big topic of the book. The book talks about a heart at war, and that's basically when we see others as objects and not as people who aren't equal to us. When we label other people, it makes them less like real to us, and we can see ourselves as superior. When this happens, it's more likely for us to resist the humanity of others. Seeing other people allows us to understand their desires, hopes, and dreams, and have more empathy. The book talks about how we naturally have a heart at peace, and at times people feel the need to justify themselves when we betray our heart of peace, when we're unable to accept that we're the cause of our own problems, and we look elsewhere to cast the blame. This last slide is just some of the main takeaways I have. Our outward strategies will not matter much unless our hearts are in the right place. We often make judgments about the worth of others based on our differences. Our need for justification obscures the truth. The more sure I am that I'm right, the more likely I will actually be mistaken. And there's a couple others, but you get the idea. It was a really good book that helped me kind of understand how to resolve conflict, and it related to a lot of what we talked about with dealing with different types of populations and people. Thanks.